fought the rest, now try the best!
On day 2 of the Tekken World Tour Finals event, they revealed another character's weekly trailer, Zafina. This one was so fire and I was highly anticipating it for many reasons. One, you could talk about her story importance, Azazel. You could talk about the move list. You could talk about Tekken 8, heat system. There's a lot of things that's really exciting about Tekken 8 as a whole. And in my opinion, Zafina is a character. But what I want to put a spotlight on in this video, by far the most important thing, is her interaction with Claudio. Because story is going to be huge in Tekken 8. Michael Murray said that they put most of their budget into story. We see now with all the cutscenes and trailers just how grand it's going to be. And Zafina, she kind of plays a very important role in that. In Tekken 7, when they decided to put Azazel in her hand, I was like, oh yeah, she's definitely going to carry over to Tekken 8, whether it be a final boss, a secret boss, something. You don't do something that powerful and then not acknowledge it in the second game. So I knew she was going to be massive in her role. And then when you talk about the trailer that we've seen before, Kazuya hosting the King of Iron Fist tournament, all of these different characters is participating in it. And then at a certain point, it looks like Victor tracks down Kazuya Mishima and ambushes the scene. Madness ensues. Zafina and Claudio at the same time, Xiaoyu and Panda as well, they are also running to the event as well. You can actually see as they're running down the street, Victor's motorcade passes them. So all of these characters are meeting in the same location at the same time. But when Zafina gets there, we don't see how it takes place. But it looks like because the devil gene that's in her hand makes its way over to Kazuya. Whether he takes it, whether he senses it, whether she gives it over, she's possessed. Regardless, Kazuya has it, and also Zafina is no longer seen in that whole battle. We know from looking at her DLC story in Tekken 7 that she does not want Jin and Kazuya to fight. This will bring upon a Ragnarok, a doomsday scenario where the whole world is annihilated. We saw what they did to New York City. If these two characters are allowed to battle, that destruction will engulf the whole world. So one of her main goals is to stop that from happening, the prophecy from unfolding. She's also dealing with Azazel in her hand, and she's reaching out to Claudio to get assistance in that. In Tekken 7, it says she made it to him, but we could see in Tekken 8 that he helped her out a lot. He gave her some bandages on her arms. He gave her some basically he is helping her seal Azazel. They're sealing Azazel, and they're trying, before time run out, to put an end to Kazuya and maybe even Jin. We know Xiaoyu convinced Claudio to not kill Jin on the spot, but Claudio did say, if anything goes wrong, if Jin Kazama is not doing what he's supposed to do, I'm going to hit him with my most deadliest, most forbidden technique. That's literally what he said. I'm not supposed to use this, but I'm going to use it on Jin Kazama. The reason why that sentence from Claudio is so important is because of what he says here.
Il sigillo è arrivato al limite.
Zafina immediately starts to lose control over her hand, and Azazel starting to emerge. You can see it taking over. So in Tekken 7, it was really just a wrist. Now you can see it goes almost all the way up to her shoulder, almost, so to her forearm. So he is corrupting her whole body. He takes control over her. She says, stay back, Azazel. The way that Claudio looks here is just so fire. Like, this Claudio is excellent. The look on his face, just his whole body language, it just gives off this aura of someone who's capable, someone who's deadly. Like, he's just looking at what she's going on and he's not happy about what he's seeing. He looks like someone in this moment who doesn't play any games, tolerate any shenanigans. He's like very serious. It's hard to really even describe like the type of aura he's giving off, but it's powerful. He immediately lifts his hand and he says, so the seal is all but broken. So basically their goal in sealing Azazel, keeping him from taking over Zafina, keeping him from re-emerging, is not happening. He's going to re-emerge. And what I want to point out as well, pay attention to this, where they're at. This stage where they're at is also the same stage that Kazuya is hosting the tournament when he transforms. I don't think that's a mistake on the developer's part to put these two characters in the same situation as the story is taking place. The seal either will be broken or they will notice that it's broke when Kazuya is in the presence, and that's when he'll take hold. But focusing more so on this Claudio part, he says so the seal is all but broken. I love here how it shows that this is not a person who's like, you know, he's not your friend, he's not your ally. Claudio's all about business. He's all about protecting the world, everyone. This guy is the leader of the Archers of Cyrus, and he doesn't have times to be friendly or allies. He has a whole basically world to protect. His long lineage of ancestors are all counting on him to keep the tradition alive, to keep everyone safe. So in this moment, he's realizing that he tried to save Zafina, he tried to do it the nice way, but then he starts to summon his power, summon that might, and he's basically like, well, I gotta kill you now. The same thing he said to Jin Kazama. I'm going to try to give you a pass, but as soon as things don't work, it's over. And he's kind of doing the same thing for Zafina in this instance. I wonder if we'll see something in the story where he starts to look at Zafina, she's like tripping out, and he's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And he tries to attack her or something. It's more so like, the idea that I'm having is, you see something bad about to happen, and it involves an ally. Of course, you don't want to harm that ally, but I mean, are you going to let the catastrophe unfold? Claudio is basically put in a hard situation, a rock in between a hard place, or whatever the phrase is. This is not what he wants to do, but this is what he has to do. He's the only one who has the power to stop all of this, right? I think it's so interesting, the dilemma that Tekken is showing us here. You have a character like Claudio who's ultra powerful and who has a lot of knowledge, and he's trying to give people chances and opportunities, but his duties as like the leader of his whole organization is forcing him to attack these people. Also want to note as well that Claudio is not participating in any of the battles that we've seen beyond this. We see him with Zafina one time. We see Zhao Yu, Harang, Jin, all of those characters in that big battle scene. We have not seen Claudio or Zafina just yet. Where are they? Would this interaction between these two characters say that something crazy has happened between them? I don't know. I just want to talk about this because I think it's so fascinating, the direction that Tekken is taking. I knew these characters, if you've been following the channel for a while, I knew these two characters were going to do something magnificent. I've been documenting their story for a long time, but just seeing it play out like to what I was expecting is excellent. I really love what the Tekken team is doing, and I couldn't be happier. With this video, I just want to highlight this, because I think a lot of people may not understand what's actually transpiring here, but that's going to be it. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and bye-bye.